my first weaving was a poncho to wear on my Palomino horse. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
It's called monk's belt design, and very coarse. And I hung it up in the display window of the home ec building. And one of the women who taught crafts said, you know, there's a show in New York, and you maybe should. I said, Jean, this is my very first weaving. She said, that doesn't matter. And it was accepted and shown at the Museum of Contemporary Crafts in New York City. So I thought, well, maybe I have a little talent after all.
Oh, wow. And what are some of the other types of things that you do?
Well, you know, let me get a nice color. One of the, I have tried to do women's outerwear, and I've tried to use some of the designs of the American Southwest. Often I do the keshkemedal, or the keskamedal, which I call the Q poncho. Two pieces sewn together, it makes a poncho. But when I began weaving those in the early 70s, women would not put anything over their head. So what I did was to open it up the front, and it became the open front keshkemedal. But a friend of mine who's bilingual said, you know, that's an awfully long title. So why don't we just call it the abrazo, because you put it on and hug yourself with it. So it became Crane's embrace of a lifetime. And it's, you know, it's incredibly versatile. It just sits on your shoulders. You don't have to manage it like you do a stole or what. If it's the proper size, it can be belted, run under the back, and you have a complete top. Knee-high boots, knickers, camisole top. You can highlight a wonderful concho belt or some such by bringing the label over to your shoulder, and you have this nice horizontal look and these epaulets on your shoulders, which gives a woman a nice broad shoulder line. And if you're going to a gallery opening, there's no place to leave your coat, but you don't want to look like you're wearing it, you slip the label under your arm and you can carry it as a sari. So that's, and of course, if you want it poncho style, you can throw it over your head backwards. You've got the point in front, and you've got a nice full poncho in the back. So the versatility has really sold the garment for about 30 years now. And I don't know why I love mohair. I've used mohair for ages. I know one thing, it doesn't take that long to thread the loom because there's only 6 threads to the inch. And then when I weave it and brush it, it looks rich and expensive. And you see what the underside would look like. If I did not brush the weaving, it would not have this wonderful nap on it, like this does. And this is over here. On the loom, I'm doing a blanket. The same yarn, but I'm putting 2 borders in, and it's called a weft face twill. 75% of the yarn is riding on the surface, and so when I brush it, I get a really luxurious nap at the border. I have just a little bit here. I can demonstrate. I don't know if you can pick up. This is the way it wove, and then can you see how different the nap is here than here? Now when I brush that real hard with a nice stiff hairbrush, it brings that up. Just let me advance the loom a little bit. Actually, this is going to be a wall rug. They're using it as a decorative piece in their dining room. Shift these, pull that into place. I don't really beat very hard. I just sort of pull it into place, and I try to keep the same rhythm even from day to day, which is not all that, sometimes not all that easy, but, and we manage the selvage edges. Shift and beat. And this is the rhythm of weaving is shuttle, throw the shuttle through there, get that yarn from one end to the other, shift, change your pattern, and then beat. And I just pull it into place. And it's really fascinating because the way in which you thread these little wire heddles, which carry, they have a little eye in them, and they carry the yarn up and down, like so. And then the sequence in which you push the pedals will create a pattern. And now this is a standard twill pattern. It's threaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why I can do this weft face twill, or the basket weave, which we call tabby. I don't know why Gilbert and Sullivan never wrote an opera based on weaving, because there's so many wonderful treadles, heddles, shuttle, tabby, wonderful ideas for songs there.